Good morning. It's been a while since I've actually logged in, and welcome to What We Know for Sure. This is Malini. Today's topic is going to be about parenting, parents. And I wanted to start with what the full meaning of a parent is. Father or a mother figure who begets, or one who gives birth, or one who just nurtures and raises a child. Relative or who plays the role of a guardian. That's what a parent is. Is it that we, as a parent or as an adult or a guardian, don't really understand what it takes to raise a child? And why do we put all our old beliefs and bring that forward into a completely new generation that's got to live in an environment that's completely different from the one we grew up in? I would say that would be because it's just something that's all we know and is what we've learned and what we feel we need to convey to our own offsprings that we want to put into this world. But my question to you is what we learned actually correct? Is it what is needed in this new world? What is the meaning of value? What is the meaning of a moral standing? My point of view, which is something that I wanted to share today, because after a lot of real reflection, being a mother myself and having to deal with other mothers and fathers, I find that as a society, we just work on muscle reactions. So pretty much what we know, all our triggers, things that have happened to us in the past, we tend to kind of dump it on our children without really looking at what our children really want or who they really are and what they're really crying out for. Never stop to really listen because we're so busy just doing, and some of us just surviving. And I think it's really, in my opinion, and we all have different opinions, which I'm always respectful of, but in my opinion, I think as a parent or as an adult or a guardian, it's our responsibility to really take a step back and make sure that our old triggers don't get passed down to our children or the generation that we're taking care of. Because the world is a very different place, and how they experience things in this current world is very different from the way we experience them or our forefathers experienced them. We bring the old religious challenges that we've been arguing and fighting for the last 200 years. We bring forth all our strict, absurd rules and regulations into this new modern world, and we instill them into our children who can't really use those to survive in this modern world because they're not useful. This world that we are living in, which is with advanced technology, information available at your fingertips, knowledge base given to you from every side and angle and the ether, is a very different place from where any of us really grew up in. So my challenge that I want to place on most adults and all parents is really to look at how we bring our kids up, even if they make a mistake. And all our children make mistakes, some good, some bad, some really horrible ones. It's up to us to not just use the old way of taking care of a problem that our parents did, which was shun everybody out, be completely utterly embarrassed, cry blue murder, and say the whole world has fallen down. But really look at why the child did what they did, with the misunderstandings or the fact that they don't have an avenue that they can come to and discuss with the parent because they have fear, and really to give them tools to be able to solve the problems that they are in, rather than go to the extreme of punishing them. Because punishment can only go so far. Now, if your child has got a drug problem, punishing them is not the answer. You've got to ask how they got there in the first place, and then really give them the tools to survive the addiction, or put them in environments that can help them get better. If your child is just rude and obnoxious, we have to ask ourselves, what are they angry about? Who are they really angry at? And how can we give them the tools to be able to express that in a different way? If our child does, have sex at a very young age, we need to ask ourselves, why couldn't they come to us and talk about it prior to acting on it? And why is it, as parents, we're so obsessed about saying it's a very bad thing and not being able to give our children the tools to have safe sex and educate them about the dangers of unsafe sex? Why is it that we are so by the fact that if our kids masturbate, that it's a sin? It's a very normal act. They just need to be educated about what it means when they masturbate, and what to do and what not to do, where to do it and how not to do it. But I think demonizing things like that are not the answer to a well-adjusted society. What we end up doing is we keep repeating the same horrible things that have survived for the last 100 over years, which is pointing the finger and screaming blue murder, and not really giving solutions and giving them tools. Because the world is a very different place now. Judgment should not be placed on the acts of what someone does, because we are not the people to judge someone's actions. If you have something to say or do, you should be there to help improve the situation for the child and make them see how they can come out of whatever they've just done, or be able to find ways of really expressing themselves in a much more positive manner. But I find that our old religions and values can sometimes be such a hindrance to the modern world, because instead of really working with the young, we punish them. We make them feel bad about themselves. We make them disgusted about themselves. And that does not solve the problem. You only bring up another generation of insecure, suppressed, angry, depressed, anxious, young that become adults, and the cycle repeats itself. So if there's anything I leave you with, is really ask yourself, being a parent for the sake of being a parent and having that title doesn't make us good parents. Having our big house, having our home, of putting food on their table and telling them we love them doesn't make us good parents. What we do during the most problematic times in our child's life, and how we give them tools to survive it, and how we encourage them to be non-judgmental, how we encourage them to help those that are in need, how we encourage them to see the world through a very balanced lens is what makes us a good parent. I leave that with you, and I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.